We are out here at a family-friendly event in Docville Farm on this beautiful day in St. Bernard Parish to raise awareness about coastal land loss. We're losing a football field of wetlands every 100 minutes in Louisiana. And so we're here to make sure that folks have a lot of fun, but also learn a lot about what's at stake and how they can get involved to help support the coast. So we've got over a dozen cook teams here that are cooking up free tastings of wild game from the marsh. And we have a band, the Micho Melody Makers, cash bar, kids activities, just a lot of fun. They're cooking up things, anything that air, land, and sea from the marsh. And we're just shining a light on the fact that this is a precious asset for us. It provides us resources and that it's disappearing at a rapid rate. So we want folks to know that that's happening and get involved to support the coast. We need to get very serious and take bold action and prioritize large-scale restoration along the coast using the best science.
When I moved here in 2000, I saw the mister go about 420 feet wide. That is for sure over 550 feet wide, and the spots by Fort Proctor and other fishing spots that we've gone out on. And it's easy to see what the tide ripping back and forth is doing.
Land loss has been pretty dramatic here, especially over the past 50 years or so. Now that the MRGO is closed and the parish has the HISRA system in place to provide some storm surge risk reduction, the parish has really been focused on restoring its coast and has basically taken an all of the above approach to doing that, including things like marsh creation, ridge restoration, and also revegetation. And the proceeds from this event are actually going towards some of those efforts.
These are Louisiana oysters, and we've cooked up Louisiana oyster boats, which is nothing more than succulent, luscious Louisiana oysters with a little of this and a little of that. The oyster liquor is cooked down with a roux and a lot of garlic in it and a little bit, just a pinch of cayenne.
How have the oysters been affected by the land loss here over the years?
Like night and day, it's criminal. How can the United States sit back and not realize what is going on here? I mean, when whole communities like the Indian community at Pointe-aux-Trembles being moved to North Louisiana, those are heartbreaking things. The coast loss is the biggest tragedy that's occurring, and everybody is sitting back and doing nothing.
We are cooking a smothered pork and brown gravy.
What's the relationship between that and the land loss we're seeing here?
Well, they play a significant role in land loss. So we're trying to do our part to advertise it a little bit and show the people what they really taste like. And it's a good protein, and we're doing our part.
What kind of reaction have you gotten from the people here today?
Really good, man. There's a great turnout today, and I think everybody really likes it. And if you make the rounds, you know, everybody's eating a lot of pork. You see a lot of pork here, and they're really trying to advertise the wild pigs and what they're about, and I guess to educate people on it.
What do you think of the cook-off?
Oh, I think it's awesome, man. It's a great day, and it's a great event. I think it's educational for people, and it brings them around to learn a lot about what we're losing here in Louisiana.
We're cooking duck and andouille gumbo. The recipe consists of some wild marinated duck breasts, some wild fried duck, and some andouille bought from a local vendor with a bunch of other seasonings and typical gumbo.
How have the ducks been affected by the land loss in this area?
I think the land loss has had a significant effect on the ducks because of the lack of habitat for the ducks to live in, really, you know, when they come down from the north.
What do you feel needs to be done?
I think we need a serious concentration on restoration efforts for this area.
I'm cooking up a wild boar street taco out of Violet, Louisiana, and we also cooking the shrimp and grits from like Kloski, and we also cooking a duck egg roll shot out of Plaquemines Parish by Kane Adams.
Now, how has the land loss affected all of this wildlife?
It's eroding our land. We need our land back. Pumping the land in instead of coming from the river. We need to pump it.
What do you feel needs to happen in order to preserve the coast of Louisiana and restore it?
We need to protect it.
What kind of response have you had to the folks that are eating your dishes here today?
They loving the food. They're loving the food, and I mean it tastes really delicious. So that's the fun of it.
Ricky and I, we're cooking. We're doing the wild pig. We're doing the wild deer. We're doing a little wild, different wild foods mixed up in there, and we got all kinds of sausages in it, deer sausages, everything mixed up in it with little shrimp and crab and gizzards and everything else you can buy bar is still wild that we put in there. And now our relationship with the coast, we want to see this coast come back. We don't want to see it keep eroding away, so we contribute into it by help cooking in this cook-off.
How has this wildlife that you're cooking up here today been affected by the land loss?
It's been affected a lot. We lost a lot of animals during Katrina, during the storm. You know, they move out, they move in. It depends on the coast size moving. Now, I'm not an oyster fisherman, so I don't know much about that.
Wild boar Cuban sandwiches served with plantain chips. We got some wild boar that we shot the other day with some ham, Swiss cheese, pressed on a panini press right here, served with this beautiful plantain chips.
Tell us your feeling regarding the land loss here. How does the land loss affect the wild boar?
Affect the wild boar? The wild boars actually affect the land loss. But we here trying to do a good cause by using the wild boar that we've been killing, try to make the problem obsolete, You take the pigs off the land, they sit there and root and rot and eat all the land up, So what we're trying to do is just, make it a good time here,
How much land loss have you seen in your lifetime?
Oh, a lot. You could go on Google Earth and see a bunch of stuff that, I got land down the road that it's already eroded tenfold since my grandpa's been there.
Everybody nowadays goes to McDonald's and Wendy's and fast food places. It's good for them to learn how to cook anything, really. And especially being in Louisiana, seafood is a big part of our culture, and they love it. They love it.
We're doing a venison and wild boar chili. We hunt up in actual Meraux, Louisiana, but I'm born and raised here in St. Bernard Parish. Live uptown now, but always did some hunting when I was a kid up in the coastal wetlands here in South Louisiana, and just love to give back for a little bit.
What's the relationship between the wild boar and the land loss in the coast?
Oh, plentiful. I mean, wild boar just tearing up shreds of land, per day, I'm sure, and it's, along with the coastal erosion that's happening day to day, I'm sure it's just overwhelming.
What do you feel needs to happen?
We do a little thing with CRCL with the restaurant and the oysters that we recycle the oyster shells, and that we put them back into the wetlands, so hopefully that'll build a little bit of the coast.
We're cooking a whole hog today.
How long did it take you?
Probably 7 to 8 hours.
Tell me the relationship between the hog and the coastal land loss here.
Of course, a hog in general really does damage to the coast. It tears up our coast and causes coastal erosion. So by us cooking them today, it kind of benefits everyone. It benefits our stomach and our coast.
What kind of response have you had from the people that are eating here?
Everyone seemed to love it. It came out really well. Actually, it's my first time cooking a whole hog, but I think I did a good job, so everyone is impressed.
What do you think of the cook-off?
I think it's an excellent event. My first time participating in an event, but anytime I can get the opportunity to do things for our community, represent the company that I'm blessed to work for, Adams Energy, is always a good thing.
I brought 2 kids, and I've eaten the gumbo already.
What do you think of this event?
It's great.
What have you taught your children about saving the coast?
Well, this one in particular is concerned about sea turtles, so we've learned about sea turtles before, and water conservation.
Wild boar taco. It's absolutely delicious.
What do you think of this cook-off event?
It's pretty neat. It is neat, yes. First time I came.
What do you think about shining a light on coastal erosion?
Yes, for sure. For sure. We definitely need to take care of coastal erosion.
I'm eating the shrimp grits.
What do you think of it?
Amazing. Probably the best grits I've had in my life.
What have you learned here today about saving the coast?
That it's very important and that there's a lot of issues going on and that they're doing a big part to help.
So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm loving the energy and the people here. Just happy to be here.
Why is it important that we save the coast?
Because if there's no coast, then there's no us. No coast, no us.
Oh, it's a little bit of everything. Everything was great. My ticket went over there by lead hunting. The pulled pork was excellent.
What do you think of this event?
Excellent. They need to do it every year. Keep it coming. Let more people land on St. Bernard Parish and taste our culture a little bit.
Why is it important that we save the coast?
For me, I'm a charter captain. I won't have a job if we ain't got nowhere to go, you know? So we got to work on getting our land built and everything.
Well, so far I've tried the gumbo, and I've had the boar. It was like a rice and gravy kind of thing. Yeah, I haven't had much wild boar yet, so it has like this sweet, smoky flavor to it going on. And I'm from Cajun country, so it's like, it's interesting to have the boar taste, which we don't really get much in Lafayette.
We're from Lafayette, and we came here to try the cook-off, try all the different dishes.
What do you think of it?
We're enjoying it. It's great. Good portions, great food. It's quite an experience.
What's your favorite one so far?
I think the shrimp and grits right here. I think that's my favorite.
What do you think of this effort to save the coast?
I think it's awesome. It's getting people out, getting them aware, educating people, and having fun doing it.
I've tried the gumbo, and we came here to try different foods and experience culture.
What do you think of it so far?
Oh, it's exciting. It's a great event.
What have you learned here today about saving the coast?
The coast needs to be saved, and it's an important part of the environment, and it's important to save it.
We came out for the food, for the cook-off. We're interested in all the different stuff that they have out here. But we found this guy here with this the table, and it just looked interesting. So, and I like them to learn some new stuff with all the seafood and the fish and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Why is it important that your children learn about the coast?
Well, I mean, that's a lot of the stuff that we have around here and where they're from. So, you know, I believe that they should know all of that stuff.
Does it concern you about the loss of coastal wetlands in Louisiana?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you know, all our wetlands are all disappearing right now. So eventually, you know, we're not going to have much land over there, and all our seafood's going to be gone, and you know, so yeah, it does concern me.
What we're doing today, wild rabbit for the demo. One of my favorite wild animals out there in the marshes is the wild rabbit. You can't beat them. Nice flavored game, perfect time of the year to be hunting those rabbits. And then it's a very simple dish.
How has this coastal erosion affected that type of game and what you're cooking here today?
Well, it has affected a lot of things, not just the game, but our barrier waters. I mean, it's our first line of defense when it comes to hurricanes. And right now you can see at a lot of the city of New Orleans, a lot of these wild animals are getting pushed into communities. You know, right now there's a bunch of coyotes running wild in the Irish Channel. There's rabbits. So as the land and development gets bigger and we start losing land, these animals will have to go somewhere. So one of the ways that you can protect them is by hunting and eating them. As a judge, you know, one thing that I look for is the creativity of the dish, as well as the flavor. You know, and you'd be surprised the amount of creativity you see out here in these events, and it's very interesting to see. Of course, you don't want any burnt food neither.
Meraux, wild duck and gumbo. Meraux. Come on up here. The people have spoken. Thank everybody for coming out. We're probably going to turn up some music while we take some photos. And the bar is open till...
I can't tell you. It was just unbelievable. There's no expression I can tell you.
What did you cook here today?
We cooked duck and andouille gumbo.
What is your reaction to the entire event?
This is awesome. This is a great event. Couldn't be better.
What went through your mind when you were called out as the winner in your category?
Oh, we were honored to win.
What'd you cook?
We cooked a mezcal cured tuna with blue crab ceviche.
What's your feeling regarding this whole issue and putting a spotlight on the coast?
Oh, I think this is a great event. I think it's important.
We won in the air category. We had a duck egg roll made from gray and teal ducks out of Plaquemines Parish, shot by Kane Adams and cooked by Charlie's Restaurant and Catering in Violet, Louisiana, home of God's country.
We cooked a wild smoked boar Cuban sandwich with plantain chips.
What went through your mind when you called out the winner in your category?
Oh, we were just so excited. We worked so hard preparing for this, working all day, making sure everybody's having a good time. We make sure we have a good time. It was just pure excitement.
It's a lot of fun. People are really excited. St. Bernard Parish has such a great spirit, and folks are here to have fun, and they love the coast, and they're here to support a great cause. The funds, all the proceeds of this event are going to go to St. Bernard Parish 4-H and Nunez Community College's coastal program. So people are really out and about to make sure they can make a difference and have a great time.
I think first of all is taking care of what you have and doing some of the smaller things that are easier to do. For example, planting black mangroves on the outer Biloxi Marsh, which again is one of the activities that are going to be funded through this particular event, is a way of reducing erosion. And doing the small things when you can sort of buys you some time while you're waiting for some of the bigger projects to develop.
At the Meraux Foundation, we believe in all the tools in the toolbox. So we're pro dredge, we're pro diversion, we're pro everything we can throw at it, and we have lots of programs going on with Chalmette High School and Nunez Community College. We're working on shoreline protection programs that enhance oyster spat production. We're working on black mangrove plantings with the St. Bernard Parish 4-H Club. Just anything to hang on to an edge, because we're on the bleeding edge.
If people have questions like more information, what should they do?
If people have questions and want to learn more about how they can get involved to support the coast, they can go to MississippiRiverDelta.org. And if they want to learn more about the cook-off in particular, they can go to coastcookoff.com.